What is up, bros? Me, Josh, here. In today's video, we're going over the USN Tier 10 cruiser, the USS Salem. And you may say to yourself, this looks very similar. It's because it's basically identical to another ship that's already in the game, and that is the Tier 10 cruiser, the Des Moines. The Salem is honestly a premium version of the Des Moines. There are honestly only three values that are different on this ship. Everything else is honestly the exact same. One, health. It has 900 less health than the Des Moines. It has 3% lower torpedo protection, and it has a little bit less total AA overall compared to the Des Moines. Other than that, though, everything is honestly identical. This is an exact copy, but a premium version. Now, in the past, you could have gone onto a Tier 10 ship and bought a doubloon camo that would give it a quote-unquote premium effect, but the Salem is just going to come with that by itself. Now, being a Tier 10 cruiser, Tier 10 ship in general, there's never been a Tier 10 premium sold. The Missouri was kind of the only premium that's ever been that, but never a Tier 10. So it's going to be an interesting. I have some ideas of how the ship will be distributed and whatnot, and we'll go on that in a little bit later video. But honestly, this ship is identical. Again, though, it is work in progress, so it is a test ship technically, so things are subject to change. They could change all kinds of stuff, but it is literally a Des Moines. Great AA, great radar, good rate of fire. A bit of an archy shell when it comes to long range, but up close, it's hard to beat this ship. It's probably the most dangerous cruiser from about 15 kilometers in, and then I think the Hindenburg takes over from 6 kilometers in, of course, with those torpedoes. But relatively stealthy, 10.6 kilometer detection at tier 10. That's pretty solid. 18.4 kilometer range, which is pretty good. You won't be hitting too many things with that because of the pretty high velocity. So it's kind of a bad long range ship. This is a ship I think that's been kind of falling the ranks of a lot of tier 10 cruisers, especially in my opinion. It's great in a specific role. CVs, you're going to be the bane of their existence. Your high AA, close in on destroyers. Again, long radar, especially if you run the radar module, can absolutely be a pain for destroyers and just anything relatively close. But long range, since the buff of the Hindenburg, Moskva, Zhao, all of them being such great ships at long range, it's hard to take this in long range battles. And personally, it's a lot of this ship has been losing a lot of glamour to me. But still, when you get those specific maps and you get those specific situations, there's no ship you'd rather take than the Des Moines or now the USS Salem. So for a captain, pretty basic running right now. This is my Pensacola captain, and the only thing I would change up is this is basically what I would run normally. I would pick up superintendent at 17, which is what I will do when I'm working this, and as well as modules. This is what I'm running as well. Pretty basic. Main armament mod 1. We're being a little bit extra troll with the increased action time of defensive fire. So that is one you can only get from super containers, or if you got it during one of the events. AA range. We are grabbing the steering gears, the detection, and then actually longer range because the Des Moines and the Salem both have very short range if you don't add this. So I think this is almost required. Although you could just go with the short range, I guess, grab more AA or a reload timer. But I think you just need that extra range to get out to 18 before because you can still hit stuff that is stationary. Let's dive into some gameplay and I'll kind of talk about what I think will happen with this ship and in the long run of how the ship will be distributed. So in game with the Salem, you are going to play it exactly like the Des Moines. It's going to be like you haven't played anything different. I would compare this play style to, let's just compare it to like the North Carolina, Massachusetts slash Alabama. With when you play those ships, they don't really feel different. They feel very, very similar. You know, you could tell me I'm in one ship and you wouldn't really notice anything different. You're going to play them identically the same. It's not quite different with a quote-unquote similar one like the Key and the Imagi. They play different. The Tirpitz and the Bismarck, they play different. With the Salem and the Des Moines, it is honestly the exact same ship as you would play normally. It's just a premium version of the ship. So what? You're going to be picking on planes, you're going to be picking on destroyers, you're going to be using environment to continue pumping out damage, and really just be an all-around really good ship in the fact of just being a good assisting role ship. Now, we got pretty lucky in this game. Now, this game, I didn't do an insane amount of damage, but it just showed how well balanced the ship can be in the long run. You know, with its great AA, it's punishing AP in certain situations. It's not like I did a massive amount of damage this game, but it just showed how strong the ship could be in the right role of playing this ship, you know, being able to kind of help out your DDs and stuff like that. So the Salem, though, the Salem is a tier 10 premium ship, which is something that we've never seen in World of Warships, and I don't think we're going to see too much in World of Warships. I'm going to try to help with the gearing if I can, knock down a couple planes. We are going against a Shokaku, so tier 8 planes against Des Moines AA is going to be absolutely nothing. We'll be able to shred them as much as we can. But with tier 10s and how premiums I think they're going to be worked on in World of Warships, I don't think World of Warships is going to ever sell a premium that's higher than tier 8. And what do I mean by that? And yes, I know that the Missouri is a thing, but you still need to play a decent amount to actually get it, and then, you know, then get enough experience to then work towards it. So I don't think Wargaming's ever going to sell a premium ship higher than tier 8, because one, I think the ships would, what, a tier 8 ship can cost about $50-some, and then going into that, you know, a premium tier 10 would end up being like $100 or something like that. So I think if they ever do anything high tier like that, 9 with the Missouri, I don't think they're going to do too many more like that with the Missouri of tier 9s. I just don't think they're ever going to sell tier 10s, because if they start selling tier 10s, then it basically gets rid of the grind in this game, which is what makes these games work in the long run. And what I mean by that is, free-to-play games like this, if they take away the grind, then that takes away people buying premium time, it takes away people buying all kinds of stuff, and then people can just play tier 10s and just spam tier 10s. And I think Wargaming kind of understands that people like earning a high tier ship when it comes to that. And that's why they even made the Missouri. You have to play a decent amount to get that much experience. You have to play a lot of games to get 750,000 experience, and there's rumors of the Musashi being kind of the same situation. But again, it's not like you can go buy the Musashi a day one player. You can go buy the Musashi if it comes out and costs it. You can't go buy the Missouri if it comes out. If you've just loaded in, we have a lot of new Steam players now. It's not like a Steam player can load right in and just buy their way into a tier 9. You have to play a lot of games. And so my idea behind the ship is, I think this is going to be the 7th time rank 1 reward ship. Now every second season, Wargaming has been gifting ships. So what you do is you basically get all the even seasons. Well, technically, yeah, all the even seasons you continue to get flags, and all the odd seasons you would get a reward ship. So 3 was the Flint, 5 was the USS Black, and then I think 7, which is going to be actually at the end of the season, is going to be the USS Salem. For a long time, I was thinking that it was going to be the Massachusetts. Now, the Massachusetts in the past was going to be a super tester only ship, but there was a massive backlash from the community of that happening. And so I thought potentially the USS Massachusetts was going to be the reward ship. But now when I'm seeing the Salem coming out and being almost identical, and that's the perfect high tier destroyers right now. We lost 3 of them almost right away, and of course he flames us. As I say, high tier DDs have been pretty rough. They've been pretty rough. I feel like high tier DDs have been a special something right now. But anyways, I digress. The USS Massachusetts, what I thought kind of the situation of it being this this very similar, you know, I nicknamed it the USS Copy Pasta because it was so similar to what the Alabama already was, and really the kind of situation was. But honestly, I feel like the Salem is going to be the perfect one. Now, what I kind of feel about that is the people who are going to end up getting this, I mean, 7-time rank 1, you know, you can, the conversation always comes up with, oh, anybody can get rank 1, and that is true. If you play enough games, you can get rank 1. There's people that got rank 1 with you know, a 46% win rate or something like that. And I remember I almost took Torps here because I had no idea where they were there. I think it was this situation, but here we're going to go. AP. I am taking a little bit extra damage from this Minotaur, but we're trying to punish him as much as we can with this radar and trying to avoid Shima Torps from behind and a Toggle Torps from the side. So a nice little salvo right here. There you go. Take that Minnow. A little bugger. But and now, if you play enough games, you will eventually just get rank 1 as long as you're decent enough. And sadly, taking a Torp right here as well. Um, but getting 7-time rank 1, there's gonna be those people are gonna to have played a decent amount of games, you know. So that is kind of that skill level or something, or is what I'm trying to say, of being able to then get that, I guess, that quote unquote reward ship of a tier 10. So, that's what I think they'll end up doing. I thought it was going to be the Massachusetts. So I think Wargaming is just going to straight up sell the Massachusetts as another tier 8 battleship. I just think that's how they're going to do it. And the Salem overall, I think, is going to be a kind of a cool reward. It doesn't bring anything else, and I think this is probably their best reward ship if they do end up doing it. Now, don't quote me. I don't have any official release that this is going to be the reward ship or what. But that's just my hunch, going off of what we've seen in the past. And what I mean by that is I think this is going to be the best one if they do release it, because every time Wargaming kind of gets it wrong, in my opinion, of making reward ships. And what I mean by that is they keep rewarding ships that are different, in the fact of, you know, the USS Flint is an Atlanta with extremely good OP smoke. And the USS Black is, at that time, it was the first destroyer high tier that had radar. So they kept giving people that are, one, quote unquote, the more skilled players on the server, because they've gotten so many rank 1 seasons. So yes, there has to be some kind of skill to get that many. But they keep giving these quote unquote different ships, and I didn't like Wargaming doing that. So you're making this top percentile of player base, and you're giving them an advantage over the long run of having this ship that has an advantage over other ships. I mean, there's a reason why the USS Flint, the USS Black, and stuff like that have the highest win rates on servers. They're just extremely good ships, and you're giving the quote-unquote best player base those ships. Now, with the USS Salem, that is probably the best one they've made so far. And what I mean by that is it's the exact same ship, if not even worse. Everything's basically worse than the already Des Moines. And so, with that being said, you can kind of make an argument like this is going to be the best one because it's just a Des Moines. Des Moines is a great ship, and the USS Salem will be a great ship. It's going to be just a Des Moines with basically the free camo on, so you're basically saving 5,000 doubloons. So that's what I think they'll end up doing with the Des Moines. And again, you can see I'm punishing this poor Shokaku with its tier 8 planes against it. And we're kind of making a nice little comeback. We lost our CV, but it is Shokaku, and I've already gotten, what, 24 after this? 23, 24 planes out of the sky, so 22. So we are going against a pretty good division right now, but we're a pretty good division ourselves. And so, but yeah, that's how I think they'll end up doing it. I think that'll be the reward. And it's a good reward. I think it really is. So it's kind of interesting. And it is always interesting to see what people have to say about that too, of giving a reward ship. And I think it's well earned by a lot of ranked players. You put in a lot of time playing ranked, and that's one of the downsides of ranked too, is it does take a long time. You see people putting in 500, 600, whatever games to get rank 1, and it is definitely a grind. So cool. So it is kind of cool to earn a ship that some people just don't have. With the USS Massachusetts, though, I feel like they're just going to release it like that. That was my first guess of what the reward ship was. I feel like they're just going to release that as it is. It's basically the same thing as a Alabama, but hey, it was there. It's an official ship, and so that'll be kind of interesting to see what they end up doing. But all in all, I think the Salem will be the reward ship, and I think it's going to be one of the few tier 10s, and I feel like if a tier 10 ship is going to be released, I feel like it will be a reward ship for the skill-based, game mode, so ranked clan battles, stuff like that. I feel like that will be the only way you're going to be able to get tier 10s. Like I said, I don't think Wargaming will ever sell a premium in the shop above tier 8, and it always sucks to see a gearing get away like that with 700 life. That is such a bummer. I switched up to put shots on the Shima, but I don't think Wargaming will ever put a ship like that in the store. It just takes away the grind, which in my opinion is bad business for Wargaming. And but we may see some more stuff like the Iowa, but still. That is going to take a grind, basically. And our GK ended up getting that kill. It's going to take a grind to basically get that ship, and it is going to be something you end up working for. So Again, like I said, this isn't a crazy damage game in the Salem or anything like that. It's just a well-rounded game when it comes to us coming back and winning this. And a nice salient broadside. Me and this, I think it's a Charles right here. And this Charles is actually pretty clutch at the end. But the close range AP on this, there's nothing you want more than just that nice 12k salvo with a 5-second reload. So one thing that's always really important to do if you are ever playing against Des Moines versus Des Moines is try to shoot out their front guns. They don't have a massive amount of health, but you can easily knock them out. So what you end up doing is you knock out all of their guns, and you can then kind of focus on that. So we're going to shoot out these last couple planes. You can't have too many more. So we'll just clear that out so me and this Charles can stay dark and go around this corner. And this was awesome. This guy made a clutch play. I asked him if he had a plane to try to spot the Minotaur, and boom, instantly pops the plane. So super clutch. So I gave this guy a compliment, and he played it really, really well here. So appreciate the good play here. But I guess let me know in the comments below what you guys think about reward ships like this. Do you guys think that it's fair? Do you guys think that it's earned? Do you guys enjoy playing your reward ships? Just let me know in the comments below, because I think it's cool. I just don't think that Wargaming needs to continuously make stuff like the USS Flint and the USS Black. I don't like it that these really good players are getting something that is basically giving you an advantage, right? So it is basically, so the Flint is basically like a smoke and stuff like that. If this does end up being the reward for rank 1, it's going to be the best, in my opinion, the best reward ship so far. And what I mean by that is I think it's most balanced. I don't like giving quote-unquote these really, really good / best players an advantage over other things. That's why I've always kind of been a fan of giving people basically, you know, a chance and not like an advantage like that. So we're gonna pop radar right here, try to help out this Minotaur by shedding off a couple citadels maybe. He's going to get going a little bit faster than I thought he would. He played pretty well, but in the end, it was the Salem that held down the planes and gave us an advantage, and switching up, trying to take out that Shimikaze as well as taking out these planes. We used this island perfectly to block all these, and I'll be the no-fly zone. Our Zhao takes out the Minnow. GG easy right there. And Shima's going to try to shake and bake, but it won't matter in the long run. So our Div doing a nice little help right there with a couple of last guys, keeping everybody alive. And there we go. And that is the most wargaming sentence right there. And what I mean by that is the guy dropped 200,000 damage and still a loss. And what I said after it is so true of if your biggest damage games will most likely be in losses. And it's my highest damage game, 333,000 damage, which I got in the Grosse Kurfürst. The tier 10 German battleship was in a loss. So there you go. The big damages are never in the wins. It seems like they're always in losses. So honestly, 83,000k. It ended up being a decent game. 46 planes shot down. We got a base capture, a kill in the end, and really just a nice balanced ship. It's hard to go wrong, especially when you're playing against planes in the Des Moines / Salem. And again, I could talk a lot about this playstyle, but it's a playstyle we've seen so far, and that's fine. I think this is a good version, and some people would say kind of the perfect version of what a premium ship should be, and not quite different, but just a way, if you like a ship, to make more credits and more experience in that ship. So some people might call it this, but yeah, I don't think they'll sell a tier 10 ship like this ever in the store. I just don't think they will. So my hunch is this is going to be a reward ship. I think it's fine giving people who have spent tons and tons of games playing a competitive mode a tier 10 ship. That's fine. I just don't think it will be sold. So my guess is 7-time rank 1 that will be the Salem, and that'll be after this season. Like I said, it is not official. That is just my guess. But anyways, we're gonna go and we 4-cap this, so it's gonna end pretty quick. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. The USS Salem, remember, your work in progress, subject to change. Remember, like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.